Hello everyone. Today we'll be building CSS button colors according to the functionality. So we'll be creating the buttons and creating the colors of the buttons according to the functionality. You have heard of or you have seen primary, secondary, danger, also light, dark buttons, these things. According to the functionality, they'll be setting the colors, right? So whether if we are making use of the CSS framework, that's what we'll be building using pure CSS. That's it. So let's start by creating the HTML file and just name this one index.html. Let me create the CSS file as well and just name this style.css. Let me come to index.html. We create very basic HTML template and change the title to CSS buttons, right? This is fine. Next, let's link the style sheet and give the path and name style.css. Next, what I'll do, within the body, let's start writing the HTML code, right? So initially, I'll start with considering the h1. Within the h1, let me make use of the u tag, nothing but the underline. And let me give here CSS button colors according to functionality. This is very simple project. And let's start by creating the div tag. So div, I'll just give the class name button hyphen container. So within this div, let me consider, just give me a second, 12 buttons. I'll just give button into 12, right? So let me come here. Oh. So I would have copy pasted. Give me a second. Yeah. What I'll do, within this one, I'll just write all the things, or let me do one thing. Let's leave this space, or let me do one thing. Just give me a second. Let me hold the Alt button. What I do here, sorry. Let me give button and button hyphen, right? So the name will give according to the button. So here, this one will be danger, and the second one I'll give accept info warning primary success secondary. Also, let me give dark, light, a rose. This one will be purple, and the final one will be cyan, right? So I'll copy the same thing. Let me paste it over here. The first letter, let's make this one small. Let's do this one for every button, right? Let me paste it over here. I'll just change this one. Paste it over here. Small I. Let me paste it over here. Again, this is small w. Paste it over here. a small p, success, success, secondary, secondary, small s, dark, I give this, small d, light, small l, rose, smaller, purple, P, finally, CM, smalls, right? Let me format the document once. Yeah, this is it for the HTML. Next, let's start writing the CSS, right? So I just want to make use of the Poppins font. For that one, what I'll do, I'll just open the Chrome. Let me search for the Poppins font. First, click on the first link. Get font. Get embed code. Import. Let me copy these 3 lines of code. Just paste it over here. What I'll do, after this one, so what I have done, let me close this one entirely. So what I have done is, I have installed an extension called Live Server. So what this does basically is, whenever we make changes in the HTML, right, index.html file, the changes will directly get reflected in the browser, so that we don't have to reload the page again and again to see the changes. This will be really helpful. You can install it as well. Let me close this one and let me come here to the index.html. Let me right click and click on open with Live Server. So yeah, currently this is looking like this. Let's design, right? Let's write the CSS. Let me close this one. So initially, let's style for the body. I'll just come here. Let me copy this one and let me paste it over here. For the body font family, I'll just give Poppins and sans serif. The primary font we'll be making use of is Poppins. If something goes wrong, we'll be making use of sans serif. Let continue styling. I'll give display flex direction, column, also justify content, center, align items, center, height of 100 view height, background color, F3, F4, F6. This one, margin of 0 and padding of 20 pixels. So this is it for the body. Currently, this is looking like this. And next, let's style for the button heading. I'll just come here. Where is button heading basically? Just give me a second. So in the H1 here, I forgot to give the class of name button hyphen heading. So let me copy the same thing. Let me paste it over here. For the button heading, what I want to do is, let me set the font size to 24 pixel, margin bottom of 20 pixel. Finally, let's align the text to center. So this looks good, right? CSS buttons, colors according to functionality. This is looking good. Next, what we'll do, let's style for the button container class, right? So I'll just come here. Let me copy this file, button container. Let me come here, paste it over here. For the button container, let me give display grid template columns, a repeat of auto fit min max. What we'll consider? Let me give 200 pixel, also 1 FR. So yeah, now this is looking somewhat good. Let's give the gap. Let's see. Let me give 20 pixel. Sorry. Yeah, this looks good. Justify items. I want to make use of. Let's center this one, right? Width of. Let me give 100% width. Yeah. And also max width of. This goes according to the screen size. For my screen size, I have given 800 pixel. You can increase or decrease it according to your screen size. I'll just give 800 pixel. Margin top of 20 pixel. So yeah, currently this is looking like this. Next, let's style for the button, right? So button class, for that one, I'll just come here. Let me copy this one. Class of btn we have given. Let me copy this one and paste it over here. For the button class, let me make use of the font family again. So I'll just come here, copy this one, paste it over here. Next, let's continue styling. So padding of 15 pixel and 30 pixel horizontally and vertically. Now this is looking somewhat good. Let's give the font size of 16 pixel. Next, after giving the font size of 16, font weight of 500. Let's check. Yeah, this looks good. And we don't need any border, so I'll just give border none. So yeah, this is looking like this, right? So border none. Next, border radius of 5 pixel. Let's check the cursor to the pointer when we hover on the button. And transition all, let me give 0.3 seconds. And I want to make use of ease, right? You can see the transition. And also let me give position relative. The final one, let me give overflow hidden, right? So this is it for the button. Next, let's style for the button itself for before. Just make use of the sector and I give before, right? For before, let me set the content to empty and position absolute top. Let me give 50%. Left also 50%. Top and left we have made use of. Height and width, let me give 300%. Height, width, let me give 300%. Let me make use of the background color. And let me use RGBA of 255 thrice and 0.1. Finally, after the background color, let me make use of the transition of all. Instead of A, let me give all. 0.6 seconds. So will be ease, right? Border radius of 50%. Transform. Translate of minus 50% twice. Next, after the transform, I just want to make use of the Z index and set this one to the 0 initially. So this is it for the button before. Next, let's style for the same thing, button, but on hover. Also, let's set this one to before we remove this one. Yeah. Height and width, I'll just give 100%. Height, 100%. Correct this one. Width, let me give 100%. Now, this looks good. Let's style for the span, right? Inside the button class. So, where I have to the span. Just give me a second. Let me give span here. What I'll do, let me make use of position relative. Give z index of, right? After styling for the span, let's style for the individual buttons. That is nothing but here this. Let's start with the button danger. So I'll just come here. Let me paste it over here. So background color, let me give F44336, right? And you can see it has been applied, and z index of, let me not give the z index. Instead, let me give the color white or triple F, right? So now this is looking good. So we have 12 buttons, right? Let me do one thing. Let me copy the same thing 11 more times. 2. Okay. So let's change this one accordingly, right? Instead of danger, so here let me come. This one is accept. So for the accept, I'll be changing the color to 4. Sorry, not 4 basically. Yeah, 4CA F57. Let's consider this one. So instead of the danger, next will be info. Let me copy this one and paste it over here. For the info, let's change the color to 2196 F3, right? So now this looks like this. After the info, let me come here. Warning. Let me give here V warning. So instead of this one background color, in double F C107. This looks fine for the warning. And next, let's style for the danger. After danger, what is that? Warning, what is there? Primary, right? Let me come here and let me paste it over here. For the primary, I'll just make use of the color 9C27 basic, right? Next, I'll come here. Success. Success. For the success, I'll just give me a second. 8VC34A. Right? This is looking good for the success, right? Next, let's style for the, after success, let's style for the secondary. Let me come here. Secondary, right? So for the background color, I'll just come here, give 607D8B. So this is the color. This looks good for the secondary. Next, I'll come here. I'll just copy the dark and let me paste it over here. For the dark, what I'll do, I'll just give the color, 333. So this is looking good for the dark, right? Next, I'll come here. Let me copy the light. I'll just, instead of danger, let me paste light over here. For the light, I'll just make use of F1 thrice, right? F1, 1, F, this. So you can see the light color. So for this one light, I'll just make the color 000. You can see now, right? The button. This is light basically. After light, what I'll do, I'll just come here. Let me copy rows. Let me paste it over here. For the rows, background color would be E91, E63. So this one, you can see the rose color. Next, what I'll do, let me come here. Purple. Let me come here. Sorry, this is annoying sometimes. The one which pops up, right? This one. Yeah, purple. Let me give the background color of 673AB7. This color. Yeah, this is looking nice. And the final one is cyan, right? For the cyan, I'll just come here. Let me copy the last one. Let me paste it over here. For the background color, I'll just change the color to 00 PC D4. This is fine. Yeah. Format document. Yep. This looks good. Next, let's style for the button hover, right? Let me give button, but on hover. Let me give transform, translate by of -3 pixel. Finally, let's add some box shadow, right? Add some shadow. Let me give 0, 5 pixel, 15 pixel. Also, let me give RGBA of 000 and finally point. This is it for the button on hover. Let's style when button is active, right? Or when we hover on the button. So for that one, I'll just give button active. Click on the button or hover on the button. Let make use of the transform. Translate y of, let me give 0. The final one, box shadow of 0, 2 pixel, 5 pixel, RGBA of, let me consider this one, 000 and 0.2. So see here, when I hover on this, you can see this one. Inside also you can see circle kind of a thing, right? So this is what we have done. Hover effect is also occurring correctly, and inside also you can see this one, a circular kind of a thing, right? So everything is working properly, and the colors are also according to the text that we have given, according to the functionality. Danger, nothing but the color you can see. Accept, you can see the color. Info or information, you can see the color. Warning, primary. Success, secondary. Dark, light, rose, purple and cyan. Everything is working correctly. Let me format the document once. This both. So let's check once again. So if I refresh here, so here you can see this one. You can see accept, info, warning, primary, success, secondary, dark, light, you can see, and rose, purple, cyan, right? So the heading, CSS button, colors according to the functionality. Everything is working properly. This is it. Thanks for watching, guys.